This is RTV6 News at 5, working for you.
Walls were damaged, desks were damaged, equipment was damaged, even data parts that you plug your phone computers into were damaged as well.
Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. First at 5, a big mess at a business in Carmel after a vehicle crashed in the front door after hours.
Employees now being impacted and can't even use the front door of their own office. But the big question tonight is, why was the store targeted?
RTV6's Nicole Griffin is finding out its location could be a big clue.
The window in front door of home care providers is boarded up. But just 2 nights ago, this was the scene after a vehicle slammed into the front of the office.
So right here would be a tire track, and on this side another one.
Jonathan Moore is the director of IT at the Carmel location. He says nothing was taken from inside the office, which is a corporate location. Workers here provide support for other home care provider employees that help patients in their homes all across the country. He says what makes the entire situation scary is there could have been someone inside when the attempted burglary happened.
You know, we have cleaning crews that are here throughout the night. Myself in my position, I'm here a lot of times after hours, so anybody could have been here. Thankfully, no one was and no one was hurt. And this is a small suite. This is our only entrance in and out of the building, so now we're having to use the back entrance, which is a little inconvenient for our staff here.
There are some questions about whether or not those suspects were actually targeting this location here or if they were intending to target the firearms store, which is right next door. You'll hear from the owner of that store coming up tonight at 6. Working for you in Carmel, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Nicole, thank you. Now to our Storm Team 6 forecast. Our stretch of dry weather continues, as you can see from the RTV6 Salesforce Tower camera. But temperatures will get warmer this weekend. Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory is here. And Kevin, what's in store for the rest of the night and the weekend? We're starting to plan TGIF.
You're saying weekend. That means it's Friday. Yes. Yeah, what a week it's been. We'll finally start to warm up and we'll stay dry as well. Okay, let's talk about what's happening. We've got a few more clouds out there. Don't be intimidated, though. Your Friday night has the green light. Will remain dry until Monday. That's our next best chance for any showers or thunderstorms. We've had more cloud cover today than the last several days. Mixture of clouds and sunshine again tomorrow. These clouds, generally speaking, will clear out tonight. Temperatures a little warmer, but still below average for this time of year. 84 in Peru, 83 in Bloomington, lower 80s in Terre Haute, 85 in Muncie. The wind has changed direction. We talked about that being a key to getting temperatures warmer for the weekend. It's now out of the south or southwest. It's light. Tomorrow at this time, though, we'll have some gusts to 20 miles per hour. Through the evening hours, slightly warmer than we have been, 75 still at 10 o'clock tonight. Skies will gradually clear.
Thank you, Kevin. It seems like everywhere you look, you see orange construction barrels on the interstate. Well, another project is here, and it's a doozy. Our Aaron Lish is working for you with what you need to know about the massive closure beginning tonight on I-70.
We know thousands of people drive on I-70 every day, but that won't be the case starting at 9 o'clock tonight with all lanes, both eastbound and westbound, closed for some major road work.
This is a pretty big stretch of construction that will close I-70 from the south split to I-465. You'll notice new pavement once it reopens, but work is also being done on bridges, approaches, interstate signs, and lights. Those with NDOT say closing all lanes going both ways will be safer and more efficient for the crews.
That is a big thing, you know, when you don't have cars whizzing by, semis whizzing by at 60 miles an hour, you feel a lot more secure, a lot safer, and honestly, we can get a lot more work done.
So to get around, you'll want to take East I-465 southbound to I-65 northbound to I-70 eastbound. If you're coming from the airport to downtown, head on I-70 eastbound to I-465 southbound to I-65 northbound. NDOT plans to have things back open by August 5th before the morning rush. Working for you, Aaron Lish, RTV6.
If you ever noticed an issue with traffic that could affect the safety of drivers, let us know. Contact us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
All new at 5, a brand new race is coming to Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 2020. This is a live look at the historic track from our IMS Weather Now camera. According to a news release from IMS, The track will host the Intercontinental GT Challenge Sports Car Championship from October 1st to the 4th in 2020. The race is called the Indianapolis 8 Hours. It's being called an epic endurance classic with drivers from all around the world competing. IMS has not yet announced when tickets for that will go on sale.
An Indianapolis man who faces 20 felony arson charges says that when he gets drunk, setting houses on fire seems like a good idea. 40-year-old David Bradshaw made that statement to investigators while admitting to a series of arsons between 2014 and this month. Police arrested Bradshaw last week in Evansville and brought him back to Indianapolis. In an interview with detectives, Bradshaw said that he was relieved he had been caught and admitted to setting the most recent fires. Houses on North Pennsylvania, North Talbot, and North Alabama streets were set on fire in the early morning hours of July 2nd. Bradshaw also admitted to setting other fires, including 2 on Christmas morning in 2018.
A 26-year-old Indianapolis man charged in a young woman's murder will be sentenced next month after jurors found him guilty on all counts. A jury found LaJuan Browning guilty in the deadly shooting of 30-year-old Jessica Whitehouse. She was found in her home in the 4300 block of Norwaldo Avenue in November of 2016. She had been shot several times. Investigators connected Browning to the murder through witness statements, phone records, and DNA analysis. He will be sentenced on August 23rd.
Democracy 2020 coverage now. More Democratic presidential candidates are taking the stage in Indianapolis for the National Urban League Convention. The candidates speaking at the Indiana Convention Center today include South Bend Mayor Pete Buttigieg, New York Senator Kristen Gillibrand, and California Senator Kamala Harris.
I'm running for president because I think America's running out of time. And I believe even now, in this moment, we may well be underreacting. And it's not just this president, although this presidency represents a huge problem. It is the conditions that made this presidency even possible. Because I think a president like the one we've got right now does not come near the Oval Office unless the ground is shifting beneath our feet. And I do not believe we are living under ordinary circumstances.
Part of the strength of this organization and all of the leaders in this room is we have always been motivated by knowing what can be and believing and being deep of faith in knowing what can be, unburdened by what has been. And this fight is a fight that is born out of optimism. This is a fight that is born out of not only knowing that we must fight for the soul of our country, but this is a fight born also out of love of country. And this is a fight we will win.
Yesterday's candidates included former Vice President Joe Biden, New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, and Minnesota Senator Amy Klobuchar. Everyone campaigning at the National Urban League Convention wants to get the African-American vote. That's seen as critical to winning the Democratic nomination.
It will be a working weekend for the Colts as training camp continues in Westfield.
That's right. The team has less than 2 weeks left to get ready for their first preseason game.
Brad Brown joins us live from Grand Park with a look at today's workouts. Hey, Brad.
Mark and Amanda, it was a pleasant day up here is the first thing we can tell you. The weather kind of leveled off. Got a little overcast here. We got a nice breeze out here right now. As a matter of fact, it was cooler than it was yesterday, so a little bigger crowd to watch this team in action. Kind of the theme today was more. Everything was a little bit more for the team today. 20 minutes longer with practice. We saw guys going through a few more reps. There were a few more drills being happened as well. Specifically for quarterback Andrew Luck, we saw him work out only in the individual drills yesterday. Well, he did that again today, but they added onto that a series of the 7-on-7 work with the Colts offense as well. Coach Frank Reich told us that Luck went a perfect 9 for 9 during the 7-on-7, so that's a very good thing to see early on, and we should see more of that on his days on the field going forward. As for the rest of today's work, more a better thing after the excitement of day one has worn off. It felt like the real work began here on Friday.
We just felt like it was a little bit longer, 20 minutes longer than yesterday. Felt like the execution was better, was excited about that. We really feel like we're practicing at a good tempo. What we talked about today, as a team was, it's good to be good for 3 or 4 plays in a row and have flawless execution, but then we can't have a lapse. We can't have one guy have a lapse. So really what we're fighting for as a team is that sustained concentration.
Now that rhythm of camp really has kind of begun now. They'll practice again on Saturday and Sunday at 2 o'clock. Monday will be the first day off. A trio of morning practices next week. Next Friday, they will actually be off as well. Mark and Amanda mentioned that first preseason game. It's August 8th, so that comes up 2 weeks from yesterday. So the countdown really starts to go very quickly, and before you know it, this whole thing will be done up here at Grant Park. Coming up tonight on the news at 6, more from Coach Reich about this second day of practice. Plus, the Colts have some very talented rookies on the field already. We'll hear from wide receiver Paris Campbell about his first dose of the NFL training camp experience. That's coming up tonight on the news at 6. In Westfield, Brad Brown, RTV6 Sports.
All right, thanks, Brad. Still ahead at 5:30 on RTV6. There is a new generation of kids training to be YouTube stars. We went to a class in online video skills, and we'll show you the mind-bending stuff our kids are learning.
But first, a hellish honeymoon is over. An Indiana man who fell down a dormant volcano in the Caribbean and his wife are now back in the United States.
Friday temperatures in the lower to middle 80s and no real warmth, at least not too much warmer, sitting to the west. So we'll talk about our changes for the weekend, and it's not just the temperature. Coming up.
Come in for great deals now.
Welcome back to the news at 5 on RTV6. Newlyweds from Crawfordsville are finally back in the United States after a nightmare honeymoon in the Caribbean. Medics airlifted 23-year-old Clay Chastain 1,200 miles from St. Kitts to Broward County, Florida, in Fort Lauderdale to continue his recovery from a horrible injury. He fell down a dormant volcano in St. Kitts. He had a spinal fluid leaking from his brain, a concussion, a fractured spine and jaw, and temporary hearing loss. It took several days for Chastain to raise enough money for an air ambulance to the United States. Despite this, doctors have given him a good prognosis. Today, Chastain spoke from his hospital bed and said he's forever grateful to his wife, who overcame her fear of heights and bodily fluids to save his life.
It's astounding, honestly, the amount that she was able to get through, because not only did she keep me going down the mountain when I couldn't even walk in a straight, no, I couldn't even walk in general. I could stand up, and I could move my feet to walk, but I had no sense of direction and no balance. And the fact that I had to lean on her most of the way down, and that she's able to keep going and support me through that is nothing short of a miracle.
Clay Chastain should be discharged from the hospital in a few days, and that's when he and his wife, Akime, will return home to Crawfordsville.
Working for you now with a warning about a new scam starting to go around Indiana. The Tippecanoe County Sheriff's Office says people are receiving a text message from a number that has a 317 area code. Investigators say the text informs you about upcoming jury duty. In the message, you'll see a link to mycase.in.gov so you can check the case number that was sent with the text. The message also states that if you do not appear, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. But police and sheriff's departments don't do this, so they're suggesting you ignore, block, or delete the number these texts are coming from. A $1.1 million fountain outside the Indiana State House that hasn't worked in about a year and a half could soon be fixed. The fountain was the centerpiece of the State House Bicentennial Plaza project to mark Indiana's 2016 bicentennial of statehood. It worked fine during the summer of 2017, but malfunctioned over the next winter. The Indiana Department of Administration says it took time to find a vendor to repair the control panel, but the fountain could be working again by mid-August. Too close for comfort. Data from NASA shows a large asteroid flew by within 45,000 miles of Earth this week.
So for perspective, that's less than 1/5 of the distance to the moon. And scientists say the asteroid snuck up on them, and it was a shock that it came so close to Earth.
If the asteroid hit our planet, scientists say it could have destroyed a city. Can you believe that?
Too close to home.
Right.
Can I look yet? It is. Oh. It did go past.
It's gone. Yes.
You're good. You're in the clear.
It probably. I don't know how far the International Space Station is when you watch it as it passes by.
A lot more than that.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, a quarter of a million miles for the moon. And would you say that was a fifth of that? Something like that, 45,000 miles. Too close.
Too close.
All right, 1 week from today, I won't be standing here. I'll be at the State Fair.
Look at that.
And this is my favorite picture. I love this. So any opportunity I get to show it, I do. 1 week from today, the Indiana State Fair kicks off, and let's hope for the kind of weekend that we're going to have this weekend. Although it'll be a little warm, it will be dry. Tomorrow and Sunday, we continue what becomes a 7-day stretch without rain. We'll get to a chance for rain and thunderstorms Monday Monday and Tuesday of next week, with Monday being our best chance. Then we're dry after that, so we don't want to miss out on Monday. Many of us need rain. Temperatures down to the south a little warmer, 83 in Bloomington, 79 in Crawfordsville. Richmond right now at 82 and Indianapolis at 81. We made it to 84 today. We bumped it up a couple of degrees. It's all in the eyes for Arctos. Check out his eyes saying, "Take me for a walk."
Look at that.
Yeah, isn't that awesome? Looks like he's on a car ride.
He's got pretty eyes.
Very pretty eyes. Francine Richardson sending in a picture of her dog. You can do the same. Kevin.Gregory at WRTV.com, and I'll take your dog for a walk. And what a pleasure it would be this evening. More cloud cover than we have had, but that will disappear as we go through the evening hours, at least become partly cloudy. Temperature trend for overnight lows. The warmest morning will be Monday, 70 degrees. We'll still be at 69 Tuesday. That replaces the comfort that we've had, where overnight lows have generally been in the 50s. I may be a little cool on Sunday, but so far this week, temperatures have been running a little behind forecasted temperatures and computer model forecasts. We'll go for 87 tomorrow, 88 on Sunday with a mixture of clouds and sunshine both days. We'll keep our eye not just on the thermometer, but the humidity level. The squiggly line here showing the humidity puts us in what we'd call the humid category. We stay away from the top of the scale, which is where we were last weekend. The wind out of the south tomorrow. A nice little breeze. Temperatures in the upper 80s, but the air's moving 10 to 15 miles per hour with some 20-mile-per-hour gusts. There are the temperatures from north to south tomorrow, all at or above average for this time of the year. Average high is 85. Second half of the weekend, temperatures a little warmer, little better chance. I think some spots will hit that 90-degree mark. Then as we get to Sunday, as I show you the rain along the state line with Michigan, a few showers there overnight into Monday. Rain will line up to the west with a cold front. That will increase our chance for thunderstorms in central Indiana Monday. If we miss that opportunity, it won't be good because rain chances are minimal Tuesday, and then we're expecting a dry Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, which happens to be a dry start to the Indiana State Fair.
And as you say, RTV6 day at the fair a week from today. Thanks, Kevin. Hey, summer break is almost over. Kids are about ready to go back to school, but an estimated 87% of IPS families need help with basic school supplies.
That's where the annual Indy Backpack Attack Drive comes in. For the past month, groups have been donating school supplies to the organization. Now, all of those supplies are in a warehouse off of West 16th Street. Crews will organize and package them and send the supplies out to IPS schools next week.
It's really important because not all children have the right supplies to start the school year off with, and a lot of school teachers are spending, up to $1,000 out of their own pocket to make sure the kids have the supplies. So this takes a little bit off pressure off of them, pressure off of the families.
All of the donated school supplies came from local businesses, organizations, and nonprofits. The news at 5 here on RTV6 continues right after the break.
Visit the Hiring Hoosiers job board.
Hello to you. I'm Julie Grant with Court TV Live, and we're bringing you gavel-to-gavel coverage of a capital murder case here on Court TV. It is Florida versus Grant Amato. He's facing the death penalty for allegedly killing his own family. The state on day number 4 of its case in chief. Authorities saying that the 30-year-old killed his mother, Margaret, his father, Chad, and his brother, Cody, over an obsession he had with a webcam girl in Bulgaria that he connected with online through an adult website. His family had accused Amato of stealing over $200,000 from his relatives to spend on this woman whose name is Sylvia. Now he is charged with 3 counts of first-degree murder. The state says that he massacred his family after they blew his cover as a rich gamer, effectively ending his relationship with Sylvia. But the defense really hanging their hat on the fact that there is no physical evidence linking Grant Amato to these heinous crimes. This morning, Jason Amato, Grant Amato's only surviving brother, took the witness stand. Is the defense trying to plant the seed that Jason and not Grant committed these heinous crimes? Well, the jury asked some questions of the lead investigator yesterday, and a lot of them pertain to whether or not Jason was ever questioned by police. The investigator assured the jury that they investigated Jason Amato and that the only person whose story did not add up was Grant's. We'll have gavel-to-gavel coverage for you and legal analysis of Florida versus Amato right here on Court TV Live. I'm Julie Grant. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Julie. And you can keep up with high-profile cases and trials across the country 24/7 on CourtTV.com. We know teachers are dedicated.
Yeah, but one teacher is so passionate, she used her own wedding to help dozens of students in need. Tampa, Florida first grade teacher Kelly Cameron calls her students her family. So when she got engaged, her fiance Matt was not surprised when she wanted to do something for her students.
Instead of wedding gifts, the couple asked guests to bring backpacks full of school supplies. The Camerons made custom invitations asking guests to fill a backpack for a boy or girl in a specific grade. They collected 70 backpacks.
It was kind of a no-brainer. Being a teacher, I know that a lot of kids come with nothing to school. You see the kids so excited about the little things, a new backpack, new shoes. It's so important that they can start school excited.
Kelly and Matt say the backpacks will be distributed to students in need. Very selfless of that couple.
Very beautiful
Nice
story.
to see. Coming up here on RTV6, News at 6, all new for you. Breaking developments about a Northeast Side apartment complex with hundreds of health code violations. Why the owners may have to start paying taxes. New at 6.
But first on the Now Indy, 6 years ago, lightning struck a teen spending time at an Indianapolis summer camp. That teen is now a man and is celebrating his life as he continues a long journey to recovery. You're watching RTV6.